and welcome back to my playthrough of Shadows of Brimstone. Al and Sue were able to make it out of that first mine alive. Unfortunately, we were not really able to collect a lot of gold, but I think we were able to collect some darkstone, which is overall not that bad. So it's time to travel to our frontier town. I'm pretty sure this will be a short stay. Again, we don't have a lot of money here. We can sell some darkstone, and I think this is what I want to do. But before we get there, we have to basically prepare our travels here, and we have to check if we would have to encounter a travel hazard. So it's time to roll some dice again. The red die will be for Sue, the white die will be for Al, and on a 1, unfortunately, something bad will happen. So now we have to roll once on the travel hazard chart. Normally it affects all of the heroes, or in most cases it affects all of the heroes anyway, but some events may have, let's say, an individual outcome, so which is why I have to remember that Sue was the one who rolled that 1. Next we would roll 3d6, and yeah, that's pretty much what we have to count. That's a 9, which means we are facing a burning farmstead. Pillars of black smoke rise in the distance, and as you approach, you discover a farmstead in ruins and ablaze. Screams call out from the fiery inferno. Each hero may decide to turn away or brave the burning building to look for survivors. If you enter the building, make a strength 5+ test to move through the flaming debris. If failed, yeah, we will hit by the fire, and then this wound or those wounds will carry over to our next adventure. I think Al will go in for sure because he has a strength of 4, so it's very likely that he will go there, and maybe Sue wants to remain behind. He's also the more healthy person, so I think for now let's have only Al try to help those guys. So he's rolling 4 dice. We are looking for a 5+ here. Awesome, he was able to make it, which means he gains 25 XP and doesn't get any immediate danger. But unfortunately we still have to roll a d6 next to see what will happen to him. No, that's 1, and we cannot use grid to roll any or reroll any of those charts whatsoever. But in this case, yeah, he was fallen for a trick. A shiny demon has lured you into the blaze only to disappear as your section of roof comes down on your head. Roll once on the injury chart. Oh man, that's so incredibly mean. So let's see what hit him. If you're rolling a 2, he's dead. Simple as that. And no, he's not dead. That's a 9, which means he has to suffer from a broken collarbone. Not particularly debilitating, but it sure hurts. You find yourself cringing a lot from the pain. You are -1 max crit. This really does hurt. I have to note it down on his player sheet. And of course I'm using one from the geek here. His max crit is now down to only 1. Yeah, then our heroes more or less successfully arrive in their frontier town. Now we have to make a choice. Each hero can decide if he wants to spend $10 to stay in a hotel, which is much safer, or we can go to the campsite. But then we really have to roll basically each day. You're not willing to pay the money here for some events, and really terrible things can happen there. Let me assure you this. The rules per se suggest that this game is fully cooperative, which means you are free to exchange money, exchange items, unless they are not personal items, things like that, between those characters back and forth. I don't like this, to be honest, from a thematic perspective, because those guys, I think all of them, they have their agenda. They want to make their living out of their adventures, and I don't believe in this. I don't know, everyone is happy and good friends for. This is actually something which I really like about Gloomhaven, that everyone is still on his or her own, and you're not allowed to share those resources freely. Of course, there are also events where you can pool your stuff and in order to pay for some penalties, but usually you cannot just give money to another character. And I think I want to play it relatively similar here. The problem now is with his first day, Al was not able to find any money whatsoever. So at this first stay in town, I will allow that Sue will lend him some money so he can go to the frontier outpost, sell some of his darkstone, and then maybe give it back. If there are really some reasonable investments, I may reconsider this. If really something for the whole team, then I think it's okay to basically put everything on a pile and basically pay your expenses. But apart from that, I really want to have them or treat them as really individuals. Hope that's fine with you guys, and maybe I'll have to reconsider this at some point in time, as I think Al will be collecting money like crazy at some point in time. But for now, let me play it the way I want to play it, and then let's find out if that makes sense for this game. So in this case, Sue will pretty much pay the stay in the hotel here. That's 20 bucks for her, which means she's down to only $55, which is still okay, but this allows them to move into the hotel. We don't have to roll for those campsite events, and now all of the heroes can pretty much explore the town however they would see fit. I think it's pretty clear. Al wants to go to the frontier outpost in order to sell some darkstone, and maybe if he's really lucky enough to sell a lot of those darkstones or sell them for a good price, he may want to consider moving to the doc's office during the next day in order to try to heal his injury. Really, having this max grid of only 1 is definitely bad disadvantage, so I think we really have to do something about this. But what about Sue? Because of her grandma's spectacles, she's a pretty cunning person, so I think she could move to the saloon and try to make some money there. I think let's go for it. She has the higher initiative, so I think let's start with Sue. We have to resolve the events anyway before all of the heroes can do anything, because a lot of those events really affect the whole posse. So let's roll for the saloon first. That's an 8. And that's a tall tale. Listening to a tale of deadly adventure from one of the other patrons, you are inspired to tell a story of your own. Make a law 5+ test and gain 10 XP for every 5 roll. I think that's pretty good, because as I mentioned, she has a cunning of 4. So, and awesome! Wow, that's really great. So she was able to gain 20 experience points from her great tale. How cool is that? And then it's Al at the frontier outpost. That's a 6. And the 6 is terrible for him. One of the soldiers that tried to run off in the night was caught and is being hanged this afternoon for desertion. With the kick of a stool and the snap of a rope, the man is left swinging as an example to others who would show cowardice in the face of their duties. Shaken by the sight of this twitching feet, you lose 1 grid. Wow! So not only his max grid is down to only 1, he also lost his one and only grid. And this is stuff that really all will carry over to the next adventure, because you basically reset your grid, you basically fully heal at the end of an adventure. So anything that happens between Town Visit and the next adventure, is pretty much up to you, and will carry over. Okay, and then it's Sue in the saloon here. She wants to go for some casual poker. Unfortunately, she cannot go to the Brimstone crabs, but I think overall, I think the odds would be better here. Her luck is also 4, but she doesn't have 100 bucks. That's the problem. So she will go for some casual poker, which means she has to spend her $50 here, and you gain $50 back for each 5 you're now rolling. So let's see, and unfortunately, she just gets her money back, and apparently you can only do that once per visit. That's pretty much it for Sue, kind of a downer. So let's move over to the very discouraged Al here, discouraged and injured. And I think he wants to sell some darkstone first. So he will go to the outpost bank, where you are allowed to do that. So you would roll for each shard individual, multiply the result times 25, because they will vary in size, weight and value. So I think let's do that for this very first shot here and hope for something cool. And I think this is really all stuff where you cannot use your grid for. So that's a 5. Okay, I take this. So this was a very, very, very cool shot, it seems, worth $125. Let's sell one more. That's 2. Okay, that's $50 more. Not really great, but I will take it anyway. I think let's do that one more time at least. That's a 6. 150 bucks. Haha. How cool is that? So that's 200 he made out of those last 2 alone. That's pretty awesome. Does he want to hold on to some darkstone? No, I think he wants to heal. No, I think not. Let's sell another darkstone. We really want to heal our injury. That's another 2, so $50 more, which is okay. Ah, come on. He will double his anyway when he finds some. So let's also sell his last remaining darks. Wow, another $150. Okay, that was pretty awesome for Al. And so he's at $525. Okay, yeah, that was pretty much the end of our first day in town. One thing that's left to do. Let's to roll on our darkness track here. So we rolled 1d6 and we are hoping for a 2 or more. Otherwise something terrible may happen. That's a 2. Just good enough. And now each of the heroes individually can decide if they want to stay in town or if they want to leave town. So they will no longer be able to take part of any of their actions. But they're not affected by any of those bad events either. And I think, I really want Sue to go to the general store to go for some more bandages. I think that's a good idea. So I think they will agree to stay both here. This time Al will pay the price for the hotel stay. And I think, as I mentioned, Al will go to the doc's office and Sue will go to the general store. Let's start with Sue here first. So let's roll for her event. That's a 4. And again, that's terrible. Cost increase. Supply is low. Demand is up. That's not good. All purchase prices are plus $50 and cancels out fire sale. So she will not be able to afford her bandages. Man, this was really, really a waste. So let's move over to Al at the doc's office and see what's going to happen there. That's a 10, and I think that's actually good. So he's very lucky. He is able to meet an expert surgeon. The doc is an expert surgeon and is really on top of things today. And he's the only had 1 or 2 drinks. All attempts at surgery made today are +1 to the roll on the chart, which is pretty awesome, because this is what we are trying to do. First of all, we have to see how much it costs. Limit 1 surgery attempt per injury and mutation. If you can afford to pay the cost, choose 1 injury or mutation you want to remove and roll on the chart below. So yeah, let's do that. Let's first of all find out how expensive it is. So again, we roll a die. That's a 2. That's only $100. That's pretty awesome. He will go for this for sure. So that's $100. And here I'm not 100% sure if the town event or the event at the general store will also affect the whole town. The cost increase. Supplies low, demand is up. All purchase. We are not purchasing anything. So that's fine. So that's $100. And then we have to roll and hope for a 3 in this case. Because remember, he's an expert surgeon, so he gets an extra 1 on his surgery. So let's roll for it. That's the 3 we needed. Perfect. It's a success. The injury mutation is healed. Awesome. So he's back at 2 maximum grit. Perfect. Then we have to roll for the darkness here. Now we have to roll a 3 or more. No, that's not good enough. So we will see, I think it's a frontier town or town event. I don't know. We will reset this to 1. And again, we have to roll some dice. Okay, what is it? That's a 5. The fever. This can't be good. A terrible plague spreads through the camp, causing void boils and death. Each hero must make a spirit 6+ test to avoid the sickness. If successful, we gain 10 XP. If failed, take D6 plus 3 wounds, ignoring defense. And again, this will carry over into our next adventure. Are you kidding me? Okay, they both have a spirit of 2. So yeah, let's start with Sue. And now this is something where you can use your grit. Unfortunately, Elle doesn't have any grit. So let's see. That's not good enough. She will spend her grit to re-roll that. I don't want to take any starting hits. No, still not good enough. Grit is gone. She will take some wounds. D6 plus 3. This could pretty much kill her. Or KO her. So that's 6 wounds right off the bat. And again, this will carry over into the next adventure. Pretty terrible start. Let's see how Al will do. No, definitely also not good enough. How many wounds does he get? No defense. That's only 5 and he's doing better anyway, but still, this hurts like crazy. So he's down to only 11 health points left. Now again, we have to make a choice if we want to leave town. And now, we could really decide to stay in town with Al in order to go for some bandages. He could do that in the doc's office as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think the price is the same, and I think we have to do that. So I think Sue will not remain in town. I think she has no reason to stay where she is. He will go back to the hotel. Yeah, that's the case. So he will spend $10 and then he will move to the general store. Again, we need some bandages because otherwise it's really, really a rough start for those guys. So let's roll those dice. Oh man, we are really so damn out of luck. The shop is closed. Due to a recent demonic attack, the shop has been shut down. No hero may visit this location until after the next adventure. That's terrible. Again, so damn terrible. So yeah, let's roll for this Frontier Town event. We're looking for 2 more. Okay, awfully close, but we made it. I really need bandage tokens, so yeah. He will spend another day here in Frontier Town. He will spend another $10. So we will do that. And then he will move to the doctor's office. So let's hope for something better here. That's the 7, the smell of death. All too familiar at the doc's office. No event. Okay, that's actually pretty good. So we will now be allowed to buy some stuff here. And I'm really considering to go for bandages and healing herbs. So that's $175. Yeah, I think this is what he wants to spend. I think he will heal Sue with those herbs. That's 2d6 of healing, and then he will heal himself with 1d6 with the normal bandages. And Sue still has 1 token, which is still then good enough. Okay, that's better than nothing. So he's down to $200 something, but that's still okay. But here are some herbs and some bandages. Unfortunately, we still have to roll for the darkness here. That's a 3, good enough. We will leave town out of here and then we will choose our next mission. As I strongly believe in randomness, I think I will roll this off. So 1 to 3 is basic mission, 4 to 6 is a City of the Ancient mission. So I will go for this very first book. Maybe for the next time I will go for the Jargona one. So let's see what comes out of this. That's a 1, so that's a basic mission. And of course I will roll off anything that's 1, or I will reroll it again. I don't want to go for the same mission again. So let's see what we get. That's a 3, Seal the Void Gate. A stable void gate has opened deep in a nearby mine and all manner of horrific monstrosities are pouring out. Finding a way to seal the gate with an ancient occult tome, the local holy man led a group down into a mine a few days ago to try to put a stop to the rampage. They have not been heard from since, and the waves of creatures are getting stronger and more frequent. Something must be done, or this entire area will be overrun in a matter of days. So our heroes will start basically at the mine entrance. So here we are. And our first goal is to find this holy book here. So this will be pretty much triggered by the first clue we are finding. And then we have to bring this book pretty much to a location where we see a gate to another world, and then we'll use it in order to seal this gate for good. The problem is, we start the game with leading darkness. Due to the extra void energy surrounding the area, the darkness moves D3 plus 1 steps on the depth track at the start of the game, after the setup but before the first turn, and yeah, this may lead to an immediate attack. Let's see how good or bad we are doing. That's 2 plus 1, so that's 2 plus 1, really. That's 3 steps. 1, 2, and 3. This means we pretty much already found our first darkness card. And this time it is a nasty one, laying in wait. There's a tension in the air. They know you are here. So the next time we are attacked, it's an ambush, and all of the enemies gain +1 combat for the first fight round. But then we will be able to discard this card. But still, pretty terrible start. And I really hope I will not forget this, but yeah, let's count on it. Okay, I think we are pretty much set, so let's try to hold back the darkness. So 7 or more, that's an 11, pretty good. And there was one very good comment. I think this is something that I did wrong the last time. Whenever you roll doubles, this darkness track will not move. You will really instead resolve the depth event chart, which is normally already bad enough. Then let's start our turn. We will start with Sue. Let's roll for her movement. That's a 4, which is not good enough to gain a grit. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think here, let's have her try to scavenge, even though it's better for Al to do that, to be honest. But but he's good on cash. So no, let's have her roll for scavenging. That's a 6. Yeah, that's good enough. So we are allowed to gain our first scavenge card. So let's place the token accordingly. Let's have her draw something. And yeah, that's pretty cool. A small find. She gains 25 bucks and 10 experience points. Awesome. Then it's Al. He also wants to roll here. 1 would be actually pretty good. 2 is definitely not good enough. Okay, that's 1 and 2. He cannot search here, but I think he will now use his herbs here to heal Sue. So he only has to be on the same tile when there are no enemies around. So that's 8, awesome. So she's fully healed. That's pretty amazing. And then he will also use his bandages to heal himself. So let's see what he gets. That's a 4, I take it. That's not bad at all. Okay, this is now a much better start into the adventure, but that's also already the end of the round. Time to hold back the darkness. That's a 6. We didn't make it, and this means we will hit our second blood splatter already. And that's the Chill of the Grave. All undead enemies are now +1 initiative and +1 combat. So if we will now face undead enemies next, they also gain a +1 combat from this laying in wait. Wow, that's really, really terrible, but I really have to remember those cards. And then it's over to Sue again. Let's roll for her movement. Ah, this was a 1. This was a 1. Really unfair. As the darkness is really coming much closer, I think I have to move, and there's nothing to search here anyway. So yeah, let's go in here. 1 and 2. So she will look through the door, and I think there is an optional rule that whenever you are looking through a door, you gain some extra experience points at the end of the adventure, which is right here, and something I totally forgot when I did this during my first mission. So I will definitely reward her 5 experience points. It's very likely that it always be Sue because of her high initiative, but yeah, I will still take it. So let's draw our first map card, the Fork Path. Didn't we have that again? This really looks very familiar. I'm pretty sure I had the same card during my first mission, but yeah, I will take it anyway. So let's place the exploration token accordingly. That's already the end of her activation. Next is Al, and really hope for a high result now. Again, I don't want to leave any open passages. That's a 3, that's not good enough. I don't have any movement whatsoever. Nope, I don't. 1, 2, and 3. So I have to live with whatever is coming now. So he cannot search here because it already has been scavenged. So let's see what we get. And we have, oh, we found our first attack. That's kind of our first clue, which is kind of okay, but also not, because we will not do a standard attack here. We will go for the next higher threat level. So normally we would draw a green card. Now we have to go for a yellow card, because this is pretty much what killed the first group that went here. So they didn't get very far, it seems, but I think we can still keep those doors, so I can leave those open. And yeah, let's see what we get. So really thrilled. What did we fight? Okay, 6 tentacles. I think that's not too bad, actually. Of course, I think they are void enemies, though. It doesn't really matter. They're not undead. I think that's what really matters. But they are ambush, and they roll an extra 1 combat die. So wow, that's 4 combat dice. Each die does 3 damage, and they're on a 4+, and because of their smash ability, tentacles to hit rolls of 6 ignore a hero's defense. And this is now really a pity. They do have an initiative of 2, so normally they're pretty slow, it seems, but not slow enough for L. Okay, yeah, that's like it is. The thing is, I think I can put those guys right next around, because they all have, let's say, 3 spaces around them. But let's do this right. I really don't want to mess things up here. So the first tentacle, that's again 1, 2, 3. That's a 6, will go to Al. So Al will get his first attack here. Next will be definitely Sue. Okay, that's not okay. It doesn't matter. So they will all go behind them. That's important. Next we would roll again. Then 1, 2, 3. Again, it's Al. So he will have this. Then it's Sue. Yeah, again. Then it's Sue again. No, it doesn't matter. to roll that off correctly, because now she has to face 4 of those tentacles, and those guys are really, really nasty. One thing I nearly forgot, they come with an initiative of 4, but it doesn't change a thing because Sue has a 6 and a 10 in her first round of combat. And the good thing is also the laying in wait will be removed after the first round of combat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for the first round. Okay, so that's, I think, something we can live with. They're not undead, which is really the important piece. We still have to hold back the darkness first. That's an 8. Yeah, that's good enough. Problem is, again, we have to deal with the falling rubble here. Each hero in the mine immediately takes D6 hits. That's really, really terrible. So again, we start with Sue. That's 6 hits. Are you kidding me? Okay. She has to roll 6 defense dice. Will I get enough dice? Yeah, that's not a problem. And every 5 plus only is a save. Yeah, that's the case. 1, 2. Okay, she starts this fight with 4 points of damage, which is really terrible. And then it's L. He takes 2 points or 2 hits. So let's see if he will be able to defend. No, he will not. So he's also taking 2 more wounds. And now we can actually start to fight. We will start with Sue and her quick draw ability. So she has initiative of 10 and gets 1 extra shot, which means she will roll 3 dice now. But let's better not forget her movement roll first. That's a 3. She cannot move anywhere anyway. So I think that's kind of, yeah, don't have to take care of this. So let's roll her 3 dice. That's only 1 hit. You must be kidding me. She does not have any grit, but she has her spectacles, so she will reroll 1 to hit roll here. Ah, you kidding me? That's a 5. Only a 2, I mean. Okay, 1 hit. She will, doesn't really matter. I think let's go for, let's go for this guy here, I think. Maybe this will help her. So that's 1 hit, a standard hit. They have a defense of 2, and I still can use my Deadeye shot. And I can, this is also something that I was really playing very incorrectly. I can use those Deadeye shots after I determined the damage here. So let's see, that's a 5. 5 minus 2 is 3, which would be not enough to take it out. So I will totally spend 1 Deadeye shot. That's a 7. This will be enough to kill this tentacle here. Really, really important for her, and this gives her 30 more experience points. Then it's the tentacles. They will not move away because, yeah, they have already found their target. So let's simply start with Sue, and this will be, wow, 9 combat dice she's facing now, and they all hit on a 4+. No, actually those are 12 combat dice because of the laying in wait. For the first round of combat they have a +1 combat each. Yeah, that's 12 dice in total. I think we may have to use our revive token right away. Every 4 counts, so let's remove what's not a hit. It seems to be easy in this case. The problem is we have 2 6s, and those 2 6s, they ignore the hero's defense whatsoever. So those are 6 damage right off the bat. She already has 4 wounds. Yeah, I think she will go down. She will go down, so that's 4 normal hits, so we can still defend from those, but we have to roll a 5 or more. You must be kidding me. Okay, that's 2 we defended, which means those are leftover damage, and each of those makes 3 points of damage. We don't have any armor, couldn't afford it, so that's 3, 6. Yeah, doesn't really matter. She goes down like a fly, but we will spend our revive token right away. So she's fully healed and doesn't need to roll on the injury chart, but we already lost our revive token, which is pretty terrible. Unfortunately, we still have 2 tentacles left, and they will go after Al here. And they will roll only, 8 dice. Let's see. Okay, that's 1 unblockable, 2 that can be blocked, and those are misses. Okay, he can defend with 2 dice. So let's see, that's 1 saved, so this guy is gone. So overall, he still takes 6 points worth of damage. which is also not really great for him. So he's already at 9 wounds out of 16. Then it's L. He will roll for his movement first. Really hope for one. Yes! Awesome. Okay, he gains 1 grit. That could be so incredibly important. And I think once again he has to go for the Blast Minor ability here. So he starts a free dynamite in the sideback token. He still had 1 left from his last encounter for his last mission. So he will spend 1 of his dynamite right now, so he will not move apparently. And the plan is to go for 1 of those spaces here apparently. So yeah, let's do that. Let's place it here. He still has to make his to-hit roll, of course, which is his weak spot apparently. So let's roll the die. 5 or more. Yes, I take it. That's fair, totally fair. Perfect. So let's start with this guy here. D6 wounds, ignoring defense. That's only a 2, but I will take it anyway. Then the second guy, I will go for a other die here, following Pole Cat Weasels twice. Only use the die that suit you well. So this one here. Oh, come on. That's a 1. You must be kidding me. That's $200 worth of dynamite, and we only inflicted 3 wounds in total. But of course, I will not complain. That was still worth it, I guess. And then it's his normal attack. So he will roll his standard blue die. Again, a 6, 7, or 8 is a critical hit. We can decide... First, that's a 1. You must be kidding me. Okay, I have to spend my grit, the grit he just got, in order to re-roll it right away. That's an 8. Okay, this will double the amount of damage. Also something which I forgot. And I really have to go for this guy here that's targeting Sue. Yeah, I have to protect her because he really can take way more wounds than she can. So he will be targeted, this one here. We go for a standard roll here. It's +1 damage too, and this combat hit is also doubled now. So yeah, that's pretty dead, I would say. Awesome job, Al. But we lost our grit for that. But I think this was definitely worth it. And this gives him 30 experience points as well. Okay, I think I will call it for today. I will finish this fight during my next episode. There are still 4 guys left. Good thing is 2 of those are already wounded, so there is a slight chance one of those heroes may survive it, because afterwards you can basically all KO'd heroes will stand up as long as one of those heroes is still alive. But yeah, this is pretty tough fight, to be honest. I was kind of forgetting how awful those tentacles actually are. But yeah, have to live with it now. And yeah, I really hope you are still enjoying my little playthrough of Shadows of Brimstone here. Hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And yeah, until then, bye bye.